very good afternoon to you. You're welcome to Midday Live. My name is Nanikia Mensah Rampan. Coming up this afternoon, Deputy Transport Minister and MP for Tema is to sue Gassem for pollution of the environment in his constituency. Former Vice President Kwesi Amissah-Arthur takes on President Akufo-Addo over Ghana Beyond Aid mantra. Meanwhile, the former head of the Police Council is calling for effective training mechanisms for the police in the quest to fight crime. And we'll take you to Nigeria's Senate, where a senator gives his take on how women should be given equal opportunities. Later on the foreign front, U.S. President Donald Trump says Kim meeting is in the making despite concerns. Right, so we have the detail of these, including sports and entertainment news, all in the next 1 hour. You'd want to stay with us because we have all that right here. Also on Facebook, it's TV3 Ghana. We're trending there, and we're live there. You can follow us there. Let's begin with Deputy Transport Minister and MP for Tema East, Titus Glover, has served notice of suing Gassem for pollution of the environment in his constituency. Now, the Deputy Minister alleged that the 50 years of Gassem in the company has never committed itself to corporate social responsibility.
Because we don't see these things with our eyes, for over 50 years that Gassem has been in production, a lot of things has happened. I recall when I came to Parliament in the early days in 2013, 2014, I paid a visit to the place. They took me around their plants and showed me some filters that they are using to make sure they control the dust. They've done well, but there's still room for improvement. And what is even more striking, that hurts me, is that throughout the 50 years of Gassem production, I've never seen any support that they have done in Tema Newtown. Yes. Most of all their support goes to other places. And that is my beef, and that is my worry and my concern. We need a proper befitting something that will complement all the things that they've done for us. So clearly, I've asked them to make a petition to Gassem, give me a copy, and make another petition to me so that all of us will sit down with Gassem and see what we can do to work together. Pania Food Cannery, another worst of all, the stench, the bad odor that comes from their factory. When you see the women selling their fish, sometimes you see these expatriates, they come to buy the fish. When they smell, they thought it's their fish. So off they go. It makes them lose sales very much. I've taken them to court. And the last time I spoke to my lawyer, they've not filed. Over so many years in Temahia, what have they done to the good people of Temahia? And that is why I have a problem with them.
Right, so those are claims from the Deputy Minister, Titus Glover, Transport Minister. Let's make some reactions from Dr. Dawson Amoah, who is the Strategy and Corporate Affairs Director at Gassem. Good afternoon to you, sir. We're grateful for your time.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing good. I hope you're saying. Now, how do you explain the claims of your MP, Honorable Titus Glover?
Well, this is actually the first time I'm actually hearing him. That is coming on air. I wish that his allegation is actually documented for us to, just look into it critically. But a quick reaction is, well, I don't know where he found his record or where he got his record with regards to the past 15 years. Let's begin from there. Gassem has not supported Tema. Well, I don't, like I said, I don't know where he got his records, but... Well,
he's saying that he has raised concerns with you, as in the company Gassem, but the company seems unperturbed. That is what he is saying.
No, this actually, I'm telling you that this is actually more or less the first time that I'm hearing him come on air. There's been some discussion, on and off, but it's all centered around, the MP making allegations that Gassem, ever since his existence in 50 years in Ghana, has not done anything to Tema, this is something that, of course, we find it very difficult, actually, to agree with him. Because, like I said earlier on, I don't know which record that he has to refer to with regards to this allegation. Because we know very well on record that Gassam has been supporting Tema. In general, we recognize the fact that we are located in Tema, and at least even come to think of our cement foundation, which we do annually. And I can show you record from next week, Monday, if you come to our office.
Well, okay, Dr. Amoah, the issue is that you have a social contract as a company with a community to perform your CSR. Have you done that? And when was the last time you did this CSR as you're supposed to?
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. The Gassam has a policy for corporate social responsibility that we do annually, including Tema. And that is called the Gassam Cement Foundation. Annually, we distribute about 50,000 bags to communities. And to be surprised for you to know that the communities of preference are Takura, the Western region, and Tema, where we have our two plants actually located. Like I said, well, we are prepared more or less to sit down with him, to trade evidence to show that we are supporting Tema. And just recently, Gassam celebrated its 50th anniversary. I don't know where the MP was. We did a huge donation at the Tema General Hospital. And he was doing it severally. So, I mean, this is something that I would say, yes, I've heard him say that you want to sit down on that. That is interesting. Let us come compare notes. But I can confidently tell you that that allegation that Gassam has not done anything to Tema, of which the MP is actually alleging to, is not true.
Okay.
And come to think of the fact that how long has he become an MP? This is about 4 years. And he dates back 50 years. I mean, whenever we meet him, that is the reference point. Over 50 years. Where were you when Gassam actually started?
Okay, Dr. Amoah, but another concern he raised has to do with the issue of pollution in the community.
I will come to that.
Okay.
And that is also very interesting. And you know, we have specialists that deal with pollution, Environmental Protection Agency. It's just a concern. These are the people who are very confident with the level of pollution. You can never say that a cement factory in the whole world, there wouldn't be an emission of actual pollution. There's a level which is acceptable. There's a level which is acceptable and acceptable by only the Environmental Protection Agency. So if he has proof, I don't think it's actually on the media, on air, that he has to. It's really the appropriate contest is the Environmental Protection Agency to check the levels. So I don't know where he got his levels for him to come openly to accuse Gassam.
Okay, all right, but I'm sure you would be having some engagements with him to know the way forward. Well, we are grateful for your time, Dr. George Dotson Amoah, who is the Strategy and Corporate Affairs Director at Gassam, reacting to some claims by the Deputy Transport Minister and MP for Tema, East Titus Glover, that the company has never committed itself when it comes to corporate social responsibility. To some more this afternoon, and a former head of the Police Council, Kwesi Amissah-Arthur, is calling on the police hierarchy not to underestimate the importance of effective training to the overall performance of Ghana's security services as the police contend with the increased crime rate. In recent times, former Vice President Kwesi Amissah-Arthur says there are enough facilities in the country the police can use to equip themselves.
There must be ways in which the police is able, through either informants that they have in the underworld, through training techniques, through the forensic capability that they have, are able to find the people who are committing these crimes much quicker than they are, so that they don't do multiple crimes even as they are being tracked. I think that training is also a very important part. It will not show in new equipment that they have that they can display at Blaster Square on MICES. It doesn't, but maybe it's even more effective in interdicting the criminals before they're able to do harm to us. So I hope that they will also put a focus on the training. People feel that the military should be involved in protecting our territorial integrity. But I don't know the information the president has. I don't know whether this current unstable, this armed robbery and daylight robbery things that are happening are foreign interventions which require the military or not. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But I'm saying that even if it didn't have any foreign, there was no foreign role. The fact that the military is available to help us to secure us is good. And now.
While still on the former Vice President Kwesi Amissah-Arthur, he has described the government's much-touted Ghana Beyond Aid mantra as a mere rhetoric. Now, according to him, the government is yet to provide adequate information on the policy, and this raising questions on what exactly it seeks to achieve.
In the immediate or in the current period, if even the current revenues only takes care of our current obligations, and it is the investment expenditure that we have to borrow for. Because each one makes a positive contribution, we'll be able to pay the interest and have something left behind, so that over time, we'll be able to pay off those investments. Then I say that I'm comfortable with, if that's what Ghana Beyond Aid is talking about, saying that, yes, we'll only borrow for capital investments, not for recurrent obligations, then I can understand. But I'm saying that the problem has not been defined for me to understand it. It's just the rhetoric. It sounds nice, Ghana Beyond Aid, Ghana Beyond. What goes into it?
Let's do security now, and the police has scaled up its patrols in Accra in a renewed effort to fight crime. Our reporter Peter Kwadato joined one of the patrol teams and has come through with the following report.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Come last break, form up, ready for your briefing and deployment.
Commanders and other senior officers took turns to address the teams.
We need to do our work with confidence. And as we deploy you to the various locations, please make sure that you abide by that. Go according to the defined area of responsibility.
Psych yourself up. Going out there on patrols connotes that we're going to deal with the bad guys, the criminals out there. And you should be very, very, very circumspect in exercising your judgment.
When you leave here, you should have it at the back of your mind that you are closing at 0600 hours. I hope that's clear.
Yes, sir.
There should not be any excuse whatsoever when they call you on set and you are not responding.
Remember to be in constant touch with the monitoring officers. They know the terrain better, so they can give you directives. Please don't isolate yourself, and make sure that you embark on teamwork. We are not looking for heroes, but we are looking for good team players. Am I okay with you?
Yes, sir.
The deployment, which was to start at about 5:30 p.m., took off at 6:15. Personnel had to be moved in batches due to the transport constraints. Others have to wait for the morning teams to return and the vehicles refueled for 9 duties. Despite the logistical challenges, the teams were fired up.
As we are going, wherever we shall put our foot, Father, give that grace to us. Amen. Let us go in peace and come back home in peace. Amen. So that at the end of everything, all glory shall be given to you.
The Greater Accra region has recorded a number of brazen daylight.
Right, away from security now to sanitation, and the Minister of Sanitation and Water Resources, Joseph Kofi Adda, has placed the blame of the poor sanitation situation in Accra firmly on the doorstep of Zoomlion Ghana Limited. Joseph Kofi Adda accused the waste management company of failing to supervise the cleaning and collection of waste on a daily basis, a situation he says has led to the piling up of garbage in the capital.
At a sanitation stakeholder forum in Accra, the sector minister expressed disappointment at the shutdown of the Accra compost recycling plant and describing the work of waste management company Zoomlion as unsatisfactory.
First of all, it's not a case that we're generating any waste more than we're generating before, but it is the fact that the waste is seen more visibly in public places. And I think it is the situation that comes out of Zoomlion not being able to deploy the workers on the streets regularly to sweep, clean, gather and transport the waste away from where they're supposed to be operating. I also think strongly that this arises out of the fact that he's taking the street sweepers on board as his staff members, whereas they should have been left with the assemblies.
However, the executive chairman of the Jospon Group of Companies, Joseph Siao Ejepong, said Accra, compared to other African countries, is clean.
This is the equipment that we have. I said need because you've not moved to other African countries. When you move to Gambia and other things and you land in Accra, you think that Accra is a new landing for you. So sometimes when you are doing the benchmark, it's because you are here. Sometimes do the benchmark with other countries that you have visited. And where I have visited some countries and I say we are doing well. Even though we've not got it there, we are somewhere.
Joseph Siao Ejepong added, Ghana needs to graduate from landfill sites to composting. He revealed that 61% of the waste produced by the country is organic, a situation which can be monetized to boost revenue generation.
The key, composting is the key, the relative of work. We are supplying the compost to real estate, they are buying. Landfill, you can't get nothing from it. You get flies, leachate, and other. Why do you go back? I think we should do what is best practice, more modern, more dignified, and more healthier for this country.
Speakers at the forum agreed constant collaboration between stakeholders and enforcement of sanitation laws are key in winning the fight against attitudinal change towards improved sanitation. Environmental consultant Kwame Asiedu Isubonting recommended a social revolution where Ghanaians will be conscientized to adopt best sanitary practices. The forum was on the theme Managing Sanitation, How to Lift the Nation from Filth.
Well, meanwhile, the managing director of the Accra Compost and Recycling Plant, Dr. Richard Amponsah, has dismissed claims by the Minister of Sanitation and Water Resources, Joseph Kofi Adda, that the company is currently not operational. In an exclusive interview with TV3, Dr. Amponsah said the minister has been ill-informed. Aside the mandatory shutdown for maintenance purposes in December, the company has been fully up and running.
I want to use this opportunity to correct that and say that the plant is not shut down. The plant is in operation the whole of this year. The only time that we did shut the plant was in December when we were doing our normal routine maintenance, which was, so it was shut from 24th to 28th of December last year. And that was just a routine maintenance. It is done annually to maintain the facility. But apart from that, from January till now, the plant is working. This month and last month, they have been documentary on Accra Compost and Recycling Plant. Almost daily, every time you open the television, is there documentary on our operations. Why would we be doing documentary when we are not operational?
He added that the key to proper waste management in the country is for authorities to focus on more transfer stations for waste collectors.
We need more. They are far away. If you are here, for example, if you collect waste here, do you have to travel all the waste away to Achimota to go and dispose of the waste? No. We must have strategic transfer stations. These transfer stations are well kept. And at the transfer stations, we put the waste in a longer truck, say a 40-footer truck, and these trucks are sent to, say, Accra Compost and Recycling Plant or to an engineer landfill site. And when we do that, we will not entertain waste.
Well, to some more this afternoon, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly has given a 48-hour ultimatum to persons engaged in any form of activity at unauthorized places at Old Fadama, popularly referred to as Agbogloshi, to vacate or be evicted. The Accra Metropolitan Chief Executive Mohammed Ejaisoa gave the warning at the inauguration of a community watch committee in the area. There's a report by Peter Kwao Adato.
Old Fadama, otherwise known as Agbogboloshi, is one of the most densely populated communities in the capital. Traders and others engaged in varying activities have taken over the streets, having exhausted every available space, leading to unimaginable congestion and insanitary conditions. Most traders on the street, like Selina Fiebo, have shops and sheds in the market but have abandoned them.
We have shops in the market, but buyers do not come to us, hence our relocation to the roadside. Again, the shops are limited in space, making our activities uncomfortable.
Gutters here are choked all year round as the traders have turned them into dumping sites, a situation the Metropolitan Assembly says it can no longer tolerate.
Because by Monday when I'm coming with full force. I'll clamp the vehicles that have parked on the way, and the onion that you have displayed on the ground, we're going to take them away.
Starting from the Abosokai Central Mosque through the Onion Market to Galloway near Ayalolo, no occupant of the street and pavement will be spared.
Followed by my good friends who are the scrap dealers. They love displaying MPP and NDC flags. That's very good. But when I come, I'll be coming in the name of Ghana. I'm not going to consider any political party that wants to
Mohamed Ajisua also has plans on sanitation in the area.
And in front of you, if I see the debris in the gutter, you are the one who did it, and will issue summons to you.
But why has the assembly adopted this radical approach?
When the president said that he wants Accra to be clean, and people take pictures of filthy Accra, they always come to Old Fadama to publish it in the Daily Graphic, Ghanaian Times, and some other newspapers. So we also want Old Fadaman to be clean as much as we want to ensure safety.
This will be the next major decongestion exercise by the Assembly this year after it cleared the Central Business District, Kwame Nkrumah Circle and environs in February. There are currently about 30,000 people living in the slums.
You're watching Midday Live. Let's turn our attentions to the Ashanti region, where some commercial drivers in Kumasi have bemoaned the poor state of roads within the metropolis. Major roads have developed potholes, exposing drivers to several risks. Ashanti regional correspondent Beatrice Spiogabra has more.
Potholes in the major roads within the Kumasi metropolis is a source of worry for the motoring public, especially drivers. And right behind me is a gaping pothole at the Alonga Junction stretch of the Kumasi Airport Road. At this very particular junction, heavy trucks have to negotiate the curve and use it to the northern part of the country. I have with me here some drivers who will be sharing their stories with us on the nature of the poor roads within the Kumasi metropolis.
My problem, say, Danny, say a car, ya can't want some so. Debia yehuhu umya bia enti yesre regional minister yesre KMA boss ye pane chopa sanse adwuma na ye ne ye boka yesre ye sika ye nyina de to spare parts e de ye car e san na kwan amna na e de da ha nyina enti yesre sempanifo okuri mu omomoden na omonhwe ma yen ne hia yen Anwaga junction ha Saturday anyimre car benya accident acha be every week bia yenya program wa junction ha
Anwaga junction has seen traffic light here say portro abeda support we not 3 days or 4 days ka benya accident wa ha ye drivers ya nkasa na ekwosi sabo di begu portro na da ho nu so omo be ya enche emko mo ya be about 2 days 3 days na sensuo to a na ade no be ye na faso bi amaso na ni na asa ekwoso accident wa ha e na enua no trotofo no so omo bo wa na omo so high wa ha papa because you have to go to be a load part and go nya kwan ko bo na to ni gya na o fa load what you ban so aben kura wo mua no o e ba sa no amadava no bre even a proti for kura wa ko ma proti for ne bre enti yes regional minister ni pay for so mo moa e wa Anwaga junction.
From Kumasi Alonga Junction, my name is Beatrice Spiogabra.
You're watching Midday Live. We're taking a break. We return with more. Stay with us. This is Midday Live. Time for Business, and the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union has petitioned the Ministry of Trade and Industry to facilitate a reduction in utility cost and tariffs for businesses. General Secretary Solomon Kote said 5 companies in Tema have threatened to shut down by the second quarter of this year if their request is not addressed.
We've written to the Ministry of Trade and Industry demanding that the overheads, the VAT they pay, the electricity they pay, the water they pay, is not making them profitable. And nobody trade in business to just come and break even and go away. Where they have gotten to now, they've all threatened, we'll be closing down. And we are asking government to give them relief. Those relief were very categorical. Something special must be done about their electricity, water, and then the VAT that they pay.
President of Imani Ghana, Franklin Cudjoe, says the Commander Sugar Factory was a failed project even before the construction started. Now, he explained that then government had no business in revamping and running of the sugar factory. He indicated current government should learn lessons from this as it rolls out the one district, one factory.
That thing was, it never existed. Why are we making it look as if the Commander Sugar Factory was actually built? It never existed. There were just structures that were never going to be economically viable.
The Commander Sugar Factory has been closed for 2 years. President of the think tank group Imani, Franklin Cudjoe, questioned what went into the decision to establish the Commander Sugar Factory, which was expected to create 7,000 direct and indirect jobs.
Back in the 70s, it was thought that the capital needed was $90 million to get it, to resuscitate it, right? Now you started with 36 million and you needed at least, you need 7,000 hectares if you want to maintain throughput. Then you needed to think about where to offload the 46,000 tons of sugar that would have been produced, assuming everything was done properly. None of these were done. No, nothing was, the sort was done. So that's what I'm saying, that the factory never existed. It was dead on arrival. It never was.
He hoped lessons have been learned for proper implementation of government's one district, one factory initiative.
I suspect even the government put it on the front page in order to buy some capital, but it's warning to them as well. As they roll out 1DF, 1F, they should learn lessons. It's very important. And by the way, the state has no business in organizing, running factories. It's a principle that is an age-old principle. And learning something, but the lessons have got to be learned properly.
Minister for Employment and Labour Relations questioned the kind of agronomic studies that were done before the factory was set up.
Where we had it wrong was that we should have actually started the cultivation of sugarcane before reactivating the factory. Because we rather started with reactivating the factory before even going into the production of sugarcane in Mauritius. I was told that the mere sugar production alone can at best help you to break even. But what sustains them is that they have added additional business of using the wastage in the production of energy, which they sell to the national grid. So it is that which they make from that helps them to be able to make surpluses.
And management of the Ghana Free Zones Authority has defended the 10-year tax holiday enjoyed by companies on free zones. Now, business analysts have criticized the huge tax exemption, which they argue undermines the country's revenue mobilization efforts. But according to CEO of the authority, Michael Berfi, the country rakes in a lot more within the 10-year period, and he spoke on 3FM's Sunrise. A free zone company can be located either in any of the exports processing zones or anywhere in the country upon the approval of the Ghana Free Zones Authority. Companies operating under the Free Zones program are entitled to both monetary and non-monetary incentives. The monetary incentives offered include 100% exemption from the payment of direct and indirect duties and levies on all imports for production and exports from free zones, 100% exemption from the payment of income tax on profits for 10 years, which will not exceed 8% thereafter, and total exemption from the payment of withholding taxes from dividends arising out of the free zone investment. Some analysts have argued the huge tax exemption undermines the country's revenue mobilization efforts, but CEO of the authority, Kofi Befi, disagrees.
You are giving 10 years tax exemption to a company. What's the company also bringing on board? The company is bringing employment opportunity. The companies are also bringing transfer of technology. The companies are also bringing transfer of set skills and competences. So I guess the advantages we get as a nation is enormous. And for me, I think we should still maintain the 10 years.
He wants local companies to take advantage of the tax incentives and exemptions and register.
Because we have seen that a lot of people who are doing well locally, I'm talking about the entrepreneurs and businessmen, they may have financial muscles, they may have the capacity to do big businesses or to even be registered as free zones enterprise, but they don't know the concept, they don't understand it. So we want to create the awareness for people to know about it, that free zones is not for only those coming from Europe or America or Eastern Europe, but Ghanaians can also benefit from free zones.
Only 34 out of 201 companies operating within the free zones are local. The program is designed to promote the processing and manufacturing of goods through the establishment of exports promotion zones and encourage the development of commercial and service activities at sea and airport areas. Why, so that will do for business. Thanks so much for staying with us. Let's do some more stories this afternoon. And a women's social support group, Zonta 2, has signed a 10-year memorandum of understanding with Korle Bu Teaching Hospital to renovate its Chinad department. Now, the first phase of the project will cost 220,000 Ghana cedis. Ghana Commercial Bank has committed to provide 180,000 Ghana cedis, while the government of Australia provides $52,000.
The facility for several years received no rehabilitation. It has over 40 bed capacity, but its quarterly stipend keeps going down. Though over 2,000 patients are admitted, the facility had been left in a bad state. To improve on patient care, a women's advocate group called Zonta Accra 2 has signed an MOU with the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. An amount of over 200,000 cedis is to be committed to rehabilitate the Chinad facility in the first phase. It is to commence in the next 3 months and will be completed in March this year. The Chinad facility will take care of complications and terminal-related issues of women. The Zonta District Foundation Ambassador, Nana Oferiwa Kuranteng, said the group will provide equipment to support the facility.
Now, we came here, one of us came here one time and realized this place was very deplorable. And the only persons who come here are women with very bad cases of cancer and terminal issues. And so when we realized that these women needed some support and the building was really gone, we decided we'll take it on and adopt it and support the women who come here, because you never know who will end up here.
The head of the department, Dr. Ali Samba, entreated other organizations to emulate the kind gesture shown by the group.
Because the hostel has a prime responsibility of providing those equipment. So the prime responsibility is on the hostel. If the hostel is not able to come in, then we'll fall on them. So we are not going to put everything on them. No, the hostel has a prime responsibility. But of course, we know resources are difficult to come by. So if you have people coming in to support, yes, that is welcome. But the hostel has to provide. As and when we are not able to provide, then we can fall on the donors and then partners.
Okay. Under the first phase, GCB Bank will provide 180,000 cedis, while the Australian government also commits $52,000.
Coming up now is international news.
Thank you very much. President Trump has tweeted that a deal with North Korea is very much in the making, a day after revealing he had agreed to meet its leader Kim Jong-un U.S. media report that Mr. Trump made the decision to meet without consulting key figures in his administration who are now scrambling to catch up. No sitting U.S. president has ever met a North Korean leader. Mr. Trump stunned observers when he agreed to the summit following an invitation delivered by South Korean envoys. Confusion mounted when Mr. Trump's own press secretary, Sarah Sanders, told reporters that North Korea has promised to denuclearize. She added, "We are not going to have this meeting take place until we see concrete actions." The secretary is not feeling well after a long couple of days working on major issues back home, such as North Korea, the State Department said. Mr. Tillerson, on his first official trip to Africa as Washington's top diplomat, is in Kenya until Monday. The news came a day after U.S. President Trump shocked the world, agreeing to meet North Korea's Kim Jong-un by May. Officials accompanying Mr. Tillerson, 65, on his 5-nation tour of Africa did not specify his illness, but is understood not to be serious. Mr. Tillerson was in the Ethiopian capital of Addis Ababa when news of Donald Trump's agreement to meet Mr. Kim in unprecedented talks broke late on Thursday. On Saturday, Mr. Tillerson cancelled all his official events in Kenya, with aides saying the secretary was not feeling well after a long couple days working on major issues back home as North Korea. Instead, North Korea is understood to have agreed to halt its testing program as negotiations continue.
Let's do some entertainment now.
Entertainment news is brought to you by
All right, so mobile phones have become a basic necessity as it keeps us connected to work, family, friends, and the outside world. Every day, new brands and newer versions of older ones pop up onto the market. So what motivates someone to buy a phone for as much as 4,000 Ghana cedis? Well, Solis Roscote has been finding out.
With the numbers of mobile phone subscribers hitting over 35 million in Ghana, it is safe to say that the mobile phone boom is here to stay. But the question is, at what cost? Placing and receiving calls, sending and receiving text messages. Those were the basic functions of the mobile phones of the late 90s. Today, however, mobile technology may range from basic functions to advanced computer engineering capabilities. When you are buying a phone, what do you look out for? What features?
I usually look at the picture quality. The picture quality must be excellent, and that's it for me.
I choose the kind of phone that I can afford. Yes.
The camera, the processor, as well how smart the phone is.
The surge in smartphone patronage has also contributed to a surge in the maintenance and repair industry. Hassan Ouattara has been in the phone repair business for over 10 years.
I don't want to attack a brand of a phone, but I think it sounds normal. You buy a phone at a very high cost and the maintenance is less. Looking at buying a phone at, let's say, 1,200 and then buying the screen at 800 or 900, it doesn't sound well. But the information the person might have the phone, the person will be willing to retrieve the information. So no matter what, the person has to buy the accessory, maintain the phone, and get those things out.
What will motivate you to use like such expensive phones?
I remember when I had my 7 and it was very, very new. When I came to Circle, they were like, hey, okay, that's 7, that kind of thing. Hype and hey.
In spite of the craze for expensive phones, there are some who do not seem at all bothered by the diverse trends.
For me, I don't know if it's because I'm doing the work, but I won't spend that much on phone unless I'm doing work that I earn more, that I know that I can use that money to repair.
Me use simple phone, that's kind of economy to establish business for and no say ebe me. Dan say me go top phone 3,000, 5,000. After later now I say government is not doing well.
Do not be deceived. There are more luxurious phones out there that can pay for your car and a decent apartment in advance for 3 years. For instance, the Virtu Signature Diamond is the 10th most expensive mobile phone in the world, priced at about $88,000 or 350,000 Ghana cedi. Now, that is luxury. between men and women. Who loves the expensive pieces?
I will say women, especially when maybe their boyfriend buy them a phone, they will want to show off.
Yes, more phones. Wow. Yeah, you hear phones. But for us, women, any phone we get, you can manage it.
Would you take 4,000 cedis out of your money to buy a phone?
Personally, no. Unless it's a gift, never.
Ladies normal pay expensive phones, but sometimes we use cards but will be bar, they buy expensive ones.
What is your dream phone?
Samsung 8 S8 Plus. I just like how it is.
What do you do?
I'm a decorator.
S8 Plus, yeah.
Why?
I like it. I like taking pictures, so that's why I want to use that phone, yeah. I want someone to buy it for me. But I wouldn't use my money to buy. Why? Seriously, frankly speaking.
But why do you want the X?
X. Okay, let me say, in my class, most people use that phone. If you have that phone, Charlie, you know what's up.
It means you're the pap.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm a student.
So if you, for instance, were buying a phone for yourself, how much would you spend?
My limit should be like 1,000 cedis. I wouldn't look out for the picture quality this time around because it's my own money.
Well, quite interesting views there, but I must say the picture quality is very important. To some more this afternoon, and there are calls for gender parity across the country, and as the world celebrated International Women's Day this week. But we take you into the Nigerian Senate on how a senator views gender parity.
They take care of our life, they take care of our children, they take care of everything. They cook for us, they did everything for us. But what I fear, Mr. Speaker, they control us at home. When we give them opportunity, with the Speaker outside, so when they control us outside and the home, they will capture everything, Mr. Speaker. That is what I fear, because most of the women, they are very intelligent. Very, very intelligent, because you can see a chief, a big man, controlled by his wife. That is what I observe and I experience in this life. Because majority of the big people, if you need something, don't go direct to them. Go to the wife. You will easily get what you want. So if you give them more chance, one day they will overthrow us. But we should not give them too much opportunity. Too much opportunity. Because if you go to your constituency now, Mr. Speaker, majority of the voters, they are women. If one woman contests in your constituency, they will say, well, let's go to support our sister. They will vote for her. And they will come here one day, you will find all these women in this chamber.
The senator, very interesting. Well, that will do for Midday Live this afternoon, but there's more news on our website. It's 3news.com. You can also still stay interactive with us on Facebook and Twitter. It's TV3 Ghana. My name is Nanekia Mensah Brampa. Enjoy your weekend and have a good lunch and good afternoon.